Good morning, everyone. I am Jenny Thomas, and I'm so excited to be with you here again on Tuesday morning. I am a mama of four littles. I have twin boys and two girls. Each of them have such sweet spirits and giftings and needs, as I'm sure you've found with all of your kids too. As I've been raising my children alongside my husband Clay, we have overcome many obstacles and also got to celebrate so many joys. However, we have found that we needed a community to come alongside of us as friends and family to pray, to guide us as we hit different milestones, and also to help us celebrate all the joys that come with raising kingdom kids. So today, I want to come alongside you as a community to support and pray for one another. And each week, I get an opportunity to share the journey of raising my kingdom kids that I would love to inspire you guys as you're raising your kingdom kids. After I share my journey, we get an opportunity to have a time of mentorship and community on Zoom. So I am putting right now in the chat our link. There we go, to sign up. So I want you guys to come and chat with me on Zoom after I share my journey. There we go, perfect. If you are first time, you'll have to click on it and register. If you've come before, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. And you should automatically get a Zoom link in your email. So today I want to talk about my journey of raising kingdom kids, but I want to talk about the importance of family time. This week, we got a ton of family time, and that's something that I really, really cherish. But I found out not all families do. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of it and encourage you guys to do family times. We all love our children and our family, but sometimes we forget about the benefits and the wisdom in devoted family time. How many of you guys do family time? Do you guys have any family time specifically devoted at all? Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Tara. Okay, a few do. Perfect. So we do at our house too. At our house, our family devoted time is on Friday, and it's Friday night, family night. And my kids look forward to it every day. We have a calendar on the fridge, and it says which child's name's on it that gets to pick our activity that we do. And if it's Adeline, you're going to know the activity about a month and ahead of time because she is going to decorate that whole day and tell you what we're going to eat, what we're going to do. But they either pick a movie out, and then if they pick a movie, they get to pick a snack. And we, set it on our grocery list. And then they have special one on one time to cook supper with me. If we do game night, they pick the game, the snack, and then they also get the one on one supper time. And it's so valuable that time of getting to spend one on one with them and then coming together as a family and just giggling, enjoying the time, seeing some arguments and, some confrontation on who's going to win. But it is so much fun. It's just such a great time that I want to encourage you guys to do that because family time is important in building that bond, that trust, that relations, especially when they're younger. And so those of you that have teens, it's something that think about it when they were younger, start putting it in because when they're teens, it helps them then to be able to communicate. It helps them talk about things in the good time and in the tough time. And so today, as we're going through and talking more about this, I want you guys to think about this Bible verse because this is the one that really comes to me. Proverbs 22:6, train the child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. And I think that goes for everything that we do as parents, but specifically devoted family time. So devoted family time, guys, your presence really, really matters. You think that it might not, or, oh, I'm here, I sit down, I have meals, I cook this, I do their laundry, but actually that one-on-one, that family all together, that presence is a sign that you care for them and a connectedness. The old saying, families who eat together, play together, and build traditions together also thrive together. And I think that's so important because you know what? As you give them your presence and have that connectedness, it starts changing the way that their brain forms and their thought process and who they go to, who they connect with, and who they follow because you become their role model. As you're having family time, it also gives you time to celebrate or talk about faith. Family time doesn't necessarily have to be movie and game nights or any big production. It can also just be praying at night with your kiddos or reading a devotional. Really any of it goes, because if you're spending that time, they start hearing Jesus from you. They hear your heart. And you know what he says in the Bible? Everyone who hears the words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rocks. The rain came down, the stream rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall because it had the foundation of a rock. And you know what? That's what you're building. This applies to everything that you're doing. So let's talk a little bit more about advantages of family time and what can you do to transform that relationship with your children. To me, the advantage of family time are that you get to have time with the people that you truly, truly love. No matter what, they love you back. You get to go and have somebody that's going to catch you when you fall, guide you when you're lost, and restore hope when it's waning. You get to have somebody who knows you through and through, loves you, believes in you, and maybe even more than you do, they believe in you. And that family relationship is invaluable. Last week, I really realized how important it was and how important it was to my kids when one of my son's friends, his mom asked me, "So I hear that the boys can't come and play because it's Friday night family night. Do you really do that? Isn't that exhausting? Don't you just want to sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing?" Oh my goodness, my heart just popped out of my chest. I was like, absolutely not. I love it. Let me tell you all about it. It is so fun. I love that. And I was so thankful that my kids value that time, that they didn't want to go and play with their friends on Friday night. They wanted to come and spend it as a family. And we did a movie night and a game night because they didn't have school and it was a 4-day weekend. But our family time continued throughout the week. I mean, on Saturday, we painted our house, did touch up paints, and those boys had so much fun rolling the paint and talking about it. And Mom, come take a look here. On Sunday, we planted more of our garden. We have these huge gardens. And Sam put a whole new garden box together. And Luke filled it with dirt. And it was so exciting. And they talked about it. And we just talked about life and things and what they're going to do when they grow up. And honestly, this year I just got to sit and just watch. Usually I'm in there digging and all that, but nope, they wanted to do it themselves. Adeline on Sunday, she wanted to go for a bike ride. Let's do a family bike ride, Mom. And so we did a family bike ride, and Adeline's my singer, and she sang the entire time. And Mom joined me. We could sing this praise song. Mom, we could sing that praise song. And I just got to see that joy, that excitement in each one of my kids in their own element as we spent that time, that devoted time together. So let me share with you everything family time does. Number one, it strengthens a family bond. And this is true for any activity. Finding that fun way to spend together is a source of joy. It deepens the relationships and allows the children to adapt to change that is coming with life. On top of that, it's the one way to help make your kids more resilient to any changes or challenges in life because they belong. They have people to rely on and to go to. Number two, it builds your child's academic performance. It improves it. And I know that sounds funny, but did you know that having an involved parent, having a parent that cares and loves and guides them, improves their academic? Because you know what? That positive effects helps them believe in themselves, helps them understand that they're valued and their education is valued. It could be family meal times that help with their academic performance because you sit down as a family and you ask about their day. What did you learn? What areas are you working on still? How can I help you? They will enjoy getting that attention for doing well in school, for knowing that you value them and their education. It also builds their confidence and sets them up for success. Family time, it also, and you're going to giggle at this, and I was telling my friend this, and she started just rolling in laughter, but it helps them learn parenting skills for when they're parents. Did you guys ever think about that? That what you're doing right now with your kids is teaching them how to be parents when they get older? It's teaching them those values. It's teaching them, okay, how do I do this? What do I say to my kids? How do I help them grow? So that time is so, so important. On top of that, hold on one second, my screen just went blank. On top of that, it builds their self-confidence. As you're playing a game and you're telling them, hey, you can do this. Or here, let me teach you how to do this. Now it's your turn. You can do it. It builds their confidence. And they know, okay, if I can do it, then what else can I do? Where else can I build my confidence? Oh, I could do it in this game of Uno. I could do it in Phase 10. I could do it in Monopoly. I remember Adeline talking about, Mom, I'm adding double digits. Yes, you are. We were just playing Monopoly, but she wanted to be the banker, and I encouraged her to. So as she was growing in her math, and she was so excited and had to go and tell her teacher all about it. So I got a little note home about her excitement. It teaches them that self-confidence that they need. On top of that, it improves their behavior because you have that strong bond. So then kids start opening up and they communicate. And that family time allows them to learn interpersonal skills from the way that we treat them. They look at our example of how we treat them, how we honor them, how we play by the rules, how they treat each other. Their communication skills start developing. And you start talking through, okay, well, for example, Sam lost and he was so mad, but Mom, it was supposed to be this way and I was going to do this. So we got to help him problem solve. You know what? Yeah. You had 4 greens and 3 yellows. And, yes, you have to get a run of 7, but you start out with your yellows, then switch to greens. So yeah, it took you longer, but I was so close. It's not fair. Well, it actually is fair. And walking through, okay, how do we solve this problem? How do you think outside the box? And how do you handle those emotions when you lose? Because man, sometimes it really does suck to lose. But you know what? It teaches them a lot. And it teaches them how to be a good sport about it. It teaches them how to be excited for others to win. Because then you talk about, oh my gosh, how did you feel when you win? So let's celebrate. Because everybody wants to be celebrated. So we get to teach them, how do we behave? How do we act in all those moments? And nothing is more valuable than as we're sitting there, they're not being judged. They're not out being watched by their peers or anybody else or have any type of peer pressure. It's a non-judgment advice from parents where we can communicate and talk and still give life lessons. And you know what? When they get in those tricky situations, they'll go back. They'll remember how to handle it, how you role modeled it, and they'll act out less. They'll choose better solutions. They'll communicate better. The other thing is if your child has this time with you, they start having a closer relationship. So you have to deal with less violence. We hear about violence a lot in our school. And I don't really like to talk about all the violence that's going along, but I want to encourage you that this can help decrease the violence. This can help improve them. Because you know what? They have that close relationship with their parent. So they aren't going to engage in acts of violence. Teenagers, their hormones are everywhere. They get angry, they get happy, they go all over the place for various reasons. Because this period of their life is full of emotions, which are difficult to control. But unchecked emotions can often escalate to random acts of violence or violence towards themselves. So having built that strong bond allows for an open conversation between the parents and the teenagers. And that quality time shows them where to go to relieve those feelings of anxiety, frustration, anger. So no longer will they start acting out and doing violent things. Instead, they're going to come and communicate. They're going to turn to the person who cared for them, who understood them from the time they were little on, who helps calm them and helps them leave less frustrated because you're going to help them solve those problems. So it helps them build those coping skills and healthy lifestyle for them as they're getting older. The other thing it does is it increases joy and happiness because they belong. And you've heard me probably talk about this a few different times. And we all want to belong. How many of you guys want to belong? Want to belong? I know me. If I go to something, I want to go and belong and feel like I fit in and be included. That's so important. And when you're doing that family time, that's making them feel like they belong, like they're someone important, that they're special because they really are. And so we want them to have a place that they can turn to. And you know what? Throughout the whole life, they'll go, oh my gosh, my parents cared for me. They met my needs. And you know what? As they start doing that, then they start becoming active members in the family and giving and caring for their siblings and caring for you as parents. And then they're able to function at their best because they belong somewhere. So, you know what? The outside force of school and the negativity that can sometimes come from it, guess what? It doesn't affect their core because they belong. The sports that come and the demand, it doesn't affect their core because they belong. They belong somewhere and to someone. The other thing is it helps them develop conflict resolution skills, which is good. They need that. You know, every family suffers from conflicts. At times, my children, they argue with each other. And I just sometimes sit back and let them argue and talk and work it out because it's good for them to learn how to express your emotions in a positive way, say what's bothering them, and learn to talk through it. So sometimes, as we're playing this and having it, there is arguments that go on. And I allow them to figure it out and sort it on their own. And there are other times where they can't, and then they start just arguing and it becomes ugly. And so then that's when I get involved. And in a constructive way, I teach them, hey, how do we treat each other? How do we talk through this? And we sit there and we listen to one another and let each other talk without interrupting. We open our ears and eyes to hear each other and see each other's heart and figure out a way where we can compromise and work together. And sometimes it's one giving in and saying, you know what, you're right. I was wrong. Sometimes it's like, nope, we're both right. So how can we compromise? But you learn to work through it. You learn to let the little things go to the side. You give each other grace. Grace is a huge word. Okay, is this a time to argue or can we give each other grace? That grace is so important. And the importance of making up and moving on. You know, that's a good life skill because we help them solve their problems. We also help them forgive. Because unforgiveness leads to hurt, leads to a chip on a shoulder, which leads then to behavior changes. Us not thinking that we're the best. And we lose that identity of who God created us to be. But we can change that as parents. It's just spending that devoted time together. You know, last night as we were sitting and just talking and doing our Bible time, Lucas said, you know what, Mom? I've been feeling really frustrated with Sam. And Sam's like, what? Why are you feeling frustrated with me? And he said, well, we've been disagreeing more. I want to do these things with the wood. You want to do these things. You go do your thing. And then I'm left without wood. And I just feel frustrated. And we've started wrestling and fighting more. And he's like, and you know, the more I thought about it, I really need some Bible verses to stand on because I just want to blow it. I just want to scream. My head wants to explode, Mom. You don't get it. But my head wants to explode. I was like, okay. So what type of Bible verses are you looking for? I don't know, something that helps me to be able to handle my brother. And Sam's over here giggling, going, well, I didn't know that bothered you. Why didn't you tell me? And he says, Sam, if I told you, I'd explode. And then I'd say words that I didn't mean. So I just keep quiet. And you know, that's probably a good thing. If you can't say something nice, we don't say anything at all. And, you know, we've talked about that of how do we work through that? So last night We probably went through 50 different Bible verses. And then I was looking around trying to find stuff until he found that perfect one that set in his soul because he needed something that he could use, that he could think through, that he could walk through to help him handle the situation because he was frustrated. And as he talked about it, he just got angry. And it's like, we don't want to have that anger anymore. And so we just took the time and we figured it out. And then we all prayed over him. But it was at that family time of coming and being vulnerable and being willing to say, hey, my heart's sad. My heart's angry. I need help. I need some guidance here. And that's why spending time as a family, devoted time, matters. And it just comes back to train them in the way that they will go. These benefits of spending time as a family are more concrete than you can ever expect. And the good news is, when I talk about this, even with my friend, she's like, well, do you go on all these family vacations and do this and do that? Yeah, we do some family vacations, but that's not what they need. They need just simple family nights together, simple one-on-one cooking. It could be, hey, we got to clean the house. Let's do it together. What's your favorite song? Or a dance party. We do a lot of dance parties. It could be building Legos, game night. Any of those things matter because you know what? We teach our children that family values, important skills, then help them function better in life. It could be family bedtime stories. Create those memories that help teach them what to do when they're older, how to handle life when they're older. Don't take your kids for granted. Enjoy every moment. Build and maintain a strong family unit by making them a priority, giving it your time and attention. Because if you start building that solid foundation, that rock that the house is built on, when the rain, when the wind, when the streams come, the kids are going to feel secure, safe, and grow up to be more confident. So today, I want to encourage you to train up your child in the way that they should go. Train them up because it's important and it matters. Build that family time and that devotional time together, whether it's, game day, family dinner, whatever it is. I want to encourage you and challenge you. And I want you to send me, this is what we started doing. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about how it transformed your family and your children. Because the importance of good family relationships cannot be underestimated. So guys, let's continue talking about the importance of family time. And let's brainstorm. How can I help you guys to be able to have that devoted family time? Or come up with some ideas of family things that you can do. So guys, as we train our kids to be kingdom kids, let's hop on Zoom. Let's do some one-on-one mentorship and let's support each other as a community. So I'm going to put up that link again, guys, for all of y'all. So you guys can hop on here and join me. I want to spend some time praying over you and talking with you so we can raise our kids together for God. I'll see you guys on the backside.